One area to consider in your success in understanding your audience is the multicultural principles, so that you'll be able to put yourself in a place to be a difference maker when connecting with another human being on a global level. Studying your worldview will allow you to see how you perceive the world and how that impacts the communication that you may have with others, both as a public speaker as well as an audience member. Worldview may be defined as the human being's inside view of the way things are colored and shaped and arranged according to a personal cultural preconceptions. As a public speaker who is addressing a multicultural audience, it is good to know how your worldview impacts your message, your word choice, your delivery, and your perception of your audience members. Ethnocentrism may be defined as when one holds the mindset that one's own culture is superior to others. Someone who is ethnocentric reasons that anyone who does not belong to his or her in-group is somehow wrong or even inferior. As a public speaker, you can avoid the negative effects of ethnocentrism by respecting the dignity of the values and beliefs of our multicultural society. You may not agree with others' values and beliefs, but the demonstration of respect of those values and beliefs will go a long way. By signifying respect for the diversity of your audience, you will create a more open line of communication between the speaker and the audience. Stereotyping is categorizing individuals according to a set of characteristics assumed to belong to all members of a group. Categories of stereotyping may include race, age, gender, occupation, religion, disability, socioeconomic status, educational level, and region of residence. Decategorization is the process of treating the person as an individual instead of assuming that they possess the same characteristics as every other member of the group to which you have assigned to them. In understanding culture, there are 4 distinct ways we can examine culture that can help you make better public speaking decisions. 1 is understanding individualism versus collectivism. 2 is power distance. 3 is masculinity. And number 4, uncertainty avoidance. On the individualism end of the spectrum, this would include countries like the United States, Australia, Great Britain, Canada, and the Netherlands. Countries listed on the collectivist end of the spectrum would include Venezuela, Colombia, Pakistan, and Japan. People in countries representing the individualistic category see their own personal goals being more important than the goals of a particular group. An I philosophy is prevalent in their behavior and thought. In short, people in the individualistic culture look out for number 1 and place their own goals and needs above a group, membership, or membership objectives. Moreover, those in the individualistic cultures thrive on competition and the achievement of personal goals as opposed to cooperation and the attainment of group goals and group's purpose. In the collectivist culture, the group's goals are more important than those of the individual. A we philosophy is the driver of behavior and thought. In the collectivist culture, there is a strong distinction between members of the in-group, such as families, organizations, or groups, and members of the out-group, those not in the family, organization, or group. There is a stronger sense of loyalty to the hierarchy and the in-group dynamic, whether it is in the form of family or company as opposed to those belonging to the out-group. Moreover, it is understood there is a strong need for cooperation as opposed to competition in dealings with others. High power distances would represent those who hold high power and the wide separation between the decision makers and those implementing the decision. On the other hand, low power distance is the narrow distance between those in power and those implementing the decisions. Countries that would fall in the high power distance category would be Venezuela, Brazil, Mexico, and India. Since there is a large gap between the decision makers and those implementing those decisions, more formality is shown in how one would address another person in a company, organization, or family. The low power distance philosophy believes that the disproportion of distance should be minimized as much as possible. Countries that fall under the low power distance category would be New Zealand, Austria, Finland, and Denmark, just to name a few. The philosophy in the workplace in these countries say that the subordinates consider superiors to be on the same level in their interaction and status of importance to the organization or group. Masculinity refers to the values and beliefs of a country's society in the areas of achievement, attainment of money, and the acceptance of male-oriented roles. Masculinity refers to the values and beliefs of a country's society in the areas of achievement, attainment of money, and accepted male-oriented roles. Countries that embody masculine worldviews would be South Africa, Japan, Italy, Mexico, and the Philippines. Now, masculine societies teach men that they are the central dominant figures, and women are expected to be encouraging and supportive of men. Cultures that embrace femininity value more caring and nurturing behaviors. So countries that embody the femininity values would be Finland, Sweden, the Netherlands, and Norway. It is validated that men do not need to be assertive. They can accept caring and nurturing roles in society. So the direction of Hofstede's ideas about uncertainty avoidance is how a particular culture feels about uncertain and ambiguous situations. High uncertainty avoidance cultures work at avoiding uncertainty by utilizing written rules, regulations, and a strong structure in their daily lives. Countries that fall under the high uncertainty avoidance category would be Japan, Belgium, Portugal, and Greece. High uncertainty avoidance groups move at a slower pace and spend more time in the planning and detailing phase when making decisions. Conversely, the low uncertainty avoidance cultures accept the uncertainty in life. Countries that are considered low uncertainty avoidance cultures are the United States, Netherlands, Ireland, Singapore, and Sweden. Low uncertainty avoidance cultures are willing to take risks, are not in favor of rigid protocols, and are comfortable with the unusual. Low uncertainty avoidance cultures run at a faster pace and make decisions much more quickly. In high context cultures, tradition and history are consistent over time. In the high context culture, the message is communicated through nonverbal gestures, proximity, and silence. In addition, the high context cultures demonstrate a stronger awareness of the overall background of the environment of the communication as opposed to words alone. In low context cultures, the verbal message is the driver of the message, and little context is incorporated into the meaning of the message. Low context cultures include America, Germany, and Switzerland. Communication tends to be direct and unambiguous, so the message is clearly stated with little context.